Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to each and every one of you for your nominations and your willingness to serve. It's much appreciated. Thanks to your families for being here. Dr. Meink, I enjoyed our conversation a couple of weeks ago. You know, the Air Force announced that Seymour Johnson Air Force Base will be one of Air Force's first deployable combat wings, ready for deployment in fiscal year 2027. So what's your understanding and view of the deployable combat wing concept?
So, Senator, thanks for the question, and thanks for our discussion. I apologize we got a little off topic on some of those things, but I appreciate the time. So my understanding is fairly limited with the reorganization and the refocus of how they're going to deploy their wings. But I am aware they're in the process of attempting to transition to that kind of concept. I think it holds promise, and if confirmed, I will. That's one of the areas I'm going to take a look at. And my understanding is that the Secretary will likely ask me to take a look at it if I'm confirmed.
Look forward to working together in that regards. Continuing on, in a January op-ed, General Alvin, he highlighted that the Air Force fleet is the smallest and oldest that it's ever been, citing in part that, and here's a quote, "We are blocked from divesting aircraft and programs ill-suited for today's threat environment," end quote. So, Dr. Meink, in your opinion, is the F-15E Strike Eagle ill-suited for today's threat environment?
So I believe, first off, the F-15's, it's kind of my favorite airplane. F-15 AirCap came to my rescue when I was in a tanker in the first Gulf War and ran off a couple of Iraqi fighters. So I'm probably a little bit conflicted when it comes to the F-15. But is it going to be able to operate in the highest threat environments? No. Does it have value? Yes. I think the question going forward will be, how long do we continue and how do we best utilize the value from the fourth generation fighters? But I think it definitely has value today. Not in all environments, but it definitely has value today, Senator.
Thank you. More broadly, what are your thoughts on General Alvin's comments about the size and age of the Air Force fleet? And is our fleet, particularly our amount of tactical fighters, is it too small?
Senator, the thing I can speak to for sure is that the fleet is aging. The 30-plus years on average. Some of the critical platforms are significantly older than that. When I was a navigator, I never flew a KC-135 that was younger than me. They're still flying today in one of the mainline air refueling platforms the department has. So they are definitely getting old. Still a very capable platform, but they're definitely aging. With respect to the exact numbers, Senator, I have not seen, and I'm looking forward to seeing the detailed analysis that went into the projections on NGAD and the other systems. My sense, though, is it's probably too small, both on the fighter and the bomber side of the house.
Thank you for that. Mr. Michael and Mr. Duffy, American deterrence relies on maintaining military technological edge over our adversaries. China's strategy to blunt that edge through espionage, intellectual property theft, and rapid acquisition is a threat that must be addressed. So if confirmed, you both would play a major role in ensuring that America and its allies have the tools needed to prevail in war while ensuring that critical new technology stays out of unfriendly hands. So, Mr. Michael, as we develop and scale new technology, including NGAD, or Next Generation Air Dominance, AI, and quantum, how will you act to ensure that the security of these American innovations and their IP remain in our hands?
That is one of the most important things that I'll have to work on, because if you look at what's happened with the Chinese capabilities with Salt Typhoon and with infiltration into some of the university programs and into our systems, that means that that adversary can catch up without 80% of the cost, because they can innovate on top of our 80% investment. And that's quite a bit of advantage they get. So protecting against their ability to steal our intellectual property, our trade secrets, and us not being reliant on their supply chains are two things that we have to do in combination with one another to ensure that when we're superior, we stay superior.
Thank you. Along those lines, Mr. Duffy, how will you ensure that our acquisition system can keep up with the rate of technology and innovation in the world?
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. It is critical that we have a robust defense industrial base that can provide security to protect our intellectual property, but has the robustness to ensure that we're delivering the most cutting-edge capability to our forces. It would be my commitment, if confirmed into the job, to explore those barriers that are preventing new entrants and private capital from entering the defense industrial base, to accelerate the production capacity of our defense industrial base, and to create new innovation to get it in the hands of the warfighter.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.